Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about some more positive news recently released regarding Tesla stock. And so with this news video, we're going to be talking about some more recent news regarding autonomy, the Austin, Texas Gigafactory, and then also some news regarding the energy side of Tesla's business, including a large-scale battery project. So of course, as always, if you enjoy the Tesla videos, please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out. And so before we get into the news piece for today, first off, let's go ahead and just address the share price because we did have some interesting movements for Tesla stock today. So just addressing this, Tesla stock is currently at $429.75 per share. And in the normal market hours today, we got a plus 0.15% gain. That is plus 62 cents added on to the share price. And then in the after hours currently, we are at plus 0.90%, which is plus $3.83 added onto the share price. So actually today and also the after hours are closed, so we are at a standstill right now. But surprisingly today so far, the after hours had a bigger movement than the normal market hours. Now keep in mind, we did start out, 9 a.m. in the pre-market at plus 2.71%. Then once we hit that 9:30 a.m. marker, we were at over 3% at plus 3.11%. So it really started out as a good day, but we had a lot of volatility with a general downturn trend, and then with the after hours it kind of inclined a little bit. So unfortunately with today, it started off really strong and then kind of fizzled out towards the end of the day, and then the after hours it recovered a little bit of that. So an interesting day regardless, and at least it was a green day. So now that we've addressed that, let's go ahead and get into the first news piece of today, which is all about a recent tweet by Tasha Keeney from ARK Invest, in which she creates a thread discussing Waymo and the autonomy aspect of that business, and then Elon Musk himself replies addressing their technology and also references a time frame for a new autonomy update that is really going to be important in my opinion. So anyways, let's go ahead and check out this tweet and then we'll expand on it a little bit more afterwards. So I'm going to start off at the beginning of this thread just to give full context. So as I stated, this is Tasha Keeney from ARK Invest. She's on the team with Kathy Wood and a bunch of other well-known analysts. You have Sam Kors as well. So Tasha Keeney tweets a thread in which it states, Waymo is on the cusp of making history with a fully commercial robotaxi launch. It must be very confident in fully driverless rides to make this push. And then part 2 of the thread states, in the past 5 years, we've seen a handful of automakers promise a 2020 launch and fail to come through. Today, many are not even close. Part 3 states, Waymo even pushed back its commercial timeline, which was originally supposed to be last year. A lot of doubt has been cast on the pace of progress. Part 4 states, and some could argue rightfully so, no company has pulled it off yet, so why should we believe it's just around the corner? At ARK, we've been saying for years that the pace of AI improvement can happen sooner than you might think. Just ask at JWangArk. And so with this part of the thread, she includes an image with a title that says, deep learning workloads are growing at 5 times the rate of Moore's law. And it further explains this by stating hardware and software improvements reduce the cost to train neural networks by 100 times in roughly 2 years. As a result, AI capabilities are multiplying as models are trained with 10 times more computing power each year. Part 5 of this thread states, while it's incredibly hard to predict exactly when breakthroughs will happen, the future cash flows off of global robotaxis should still be worth $1 to $2 trillion today, even if it's a year or 2 late. And so with this one, she actually includes a really interesting image which states, the winning autonomous ride-hailing platforms should be worth roughly $1.4 trillion today, and it states, based on Waymo's and Cruise Automation's missed deadlines for driverless commercial service, ARK pushed out its autonomous adoption curve by 1 year. If commercialization were to take place 1 year later than we had anticipated, future cash flows from autonomous ride-hailing should be worth between $1 to $2 trillion today, and it has a chart right here that states autonomous ride-hailing cash flows during the next 10 years, estimated 10-year net present value cumulative. And so as it states right here, 1.4 trillion, 5 trillion in 2024, and 9 trillion in 2029. Part 6 of this expands further by stating the first robotaxis likely won't be autonomous everywhere, all weather, all scenarios, but even a level 4 parentheses, some remote human help a small percentage of the time, autonomous taxi could still be less than half the cost of driving your personal car. And so right here includes a breakdown with a title stating autonomous ride hailing is likely to be affordable, and And so it says, adjusted for inflation, the cost to own and operate a personal car has not changed since the Model T rolled off the first assembly line. ARC estimates that at scale, autonomous taxis will cost consumers 25 cents per mile, spurring widespread adoption. And so this is a chart emphasizing cost per mile of a personally owned vehicle in 2019 dollars. And so we have for 1871 the horse and carriage $1.70, in 1934 70 cents, 1950 70 cents, 2016 70 cents, and then in 2024 25 cents. So just keep in mind, for basically 100 years, the cost per mile of a personally owned vehicle has been 70 cents. And then finally, we are having a tremendous breakthrough in which, according to this chart, around the time of 2024, the cost could be as cheap as 25 cents per mile. So this really emphasizes how revolutionary autonomy technology can be in combination with Teslas. So then finally, for part 7 of the thread, Tasha states, so sure, Waymo is late. Service is still not open for any member of the public quite yet, although Waymo promises that's soon to follow. But make no mistake, we are on the edge of the most significant change in mobility in over 100 years. So I thought it was important to mention this, of course, because it provides context to Elon Musk's follow-up reply, which we'll check out in just a second. But this is not only just applicable to Waymo, but Tesla as well. And so for a lot of us Tesla bulls, many of us think that Tesla will be the first to master or perfect full self-driving technology, or at least get it to the point where it's safe enough and much safer than your typical human manual driver, and possibly be the first to do so. But I thought this thread was important to read because it provides perspective on the value of autonomy and how it's a huge business in the future, especially if Tesla is able to master this first. And so Elon Musk himself provides a little bit more perspective on this with a reply to this thread. And so as you can see, Elon Musk replies, Waymo is impressive, but a highly specialized solution. The Tesla approach is a general solution. The latest build is capable of zero intervention drives. We'll release limited beta in a few weeks. So not only do we have a counterpoint by Elon Musk, but he also emphasizes that the limited beta will be available in a few weeks. And we've already heard this news referenced previously, but still, this is supposed to be a big event with a new update. Elon Musk has talked about how he's been personally using it himself and pretty much requires no intervention to and from work. And then also, just as a little bit of a bonus right here as well, I'll just throw this in here. This is another tweet from Tasha Kinney from Mark Invest, and she states, hashtag 3D printing unlocks the full potential of AI design. Seems like a lot of manufacturing operations should eventually use 3D printing in some form, whether it be models, parts, or tools. For a $10 to $15 billion industry today, I see a lot of untapped opportunity, and it links an article. And Elon Musk replies by stating, additive manufacturing of parts is still far too costly for cars, but can rapidly create tooling to accelerate pace of innovation. And then he says, it's already sensible for rocket engine parts. To the best of our knowledge, SpaceX is 2 or 3 years ahead of other companies in use of additives. So that's really interesting in itself. I mean, even the Volkswagen and Audi CEO have stated that Tesla is like around 2 years ahead of them in terms of battery technology, software, and autonomy capabilities. So as you can see, with Elon Musk being the CEO of both of these companies, I'm not really surprised that we're seeing years worth of advantages in different aspects for both of these companies. It really comes as no surprise, considering that this is something pretty consistent with Elon Musk, in which he's always trying to find a way to advance the gap between them and the competition. And then also, just as another news piece for today, like I said, this one is about a battery pack project. So this is by PG&E, and this one states the first Tesla Megapacks installed at PG&E's Moss Landing substation. Once operational, parentheses, targeting 2Q 2021, this 182.5 megawatt battery, hashtag energy storage system, will be one of the largest utility-owned lithium-ion battery energy storage systems in the world. So I thought that was pretty awesome in itself. It's really nice to see companies and even different governments across the world purchase these large-scale megapacks from Tesla to power some of the things used for their business. So that's really nice to see as well. And then finally, we have an article by Teslarati and author Simon Alvarez. So of course, as always, we greatly appreciate this information. And this article is titled Tesla Gigafactory Texas to include battery cell production, filings show. And so just addressing the key points of this article, obviously obviously I want you all to be able to read it for yourself. I'll leave it linked down in the description below. But this states recent filings to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality have hinted at something quite interesting about Tesla's plans for Gigafactory Texas. Based on the documents, Tesla will not only be producing electric vehicles in the massive complex, it will also be operating a, quote, cell manufacturing unit that will build battery packs for the company's industry-leading EVs. And so it continues discussing this and states, the TECQ filing was submitted by local firm GHD Services Incorporated on Tesla's behalf back in July. The documents themselves are a permit by the rule registration for the processes to construct equipment that will be utilized in Gigafactory Texas's battery facility. These equipment include 6 20,000-liter nitrogen blanketed tanks, which will be used for cell production. So this is actually really interesting because in a recent news video, we discussed how the Gigafactory in Berlin will be using 4680 cells, and I emphasized in that news video how Elon Musk had basically deconfirmed the Shanghai Gigafactory and also the Fremont factory for the new battery cells, in which I think he stated that they would wait around 2 years to make sure everything ran smoothly with the Gigafactory in Berlin and the production of the new battery cells. And I stated that it was important to note that he didn't mention the Austin, Texas Gigafactory in that group with the Shanghai Gigafactory and the Fremont factory. So I stated that it would just make sense at this point, considering that the Austin, Texas Gigafactory is the newest one, the one that's going to likely be completed after the Berlin Gigafactory. It would just make sense with that being the newest one that they would also involve cell production and utilizing the new 4680 cells as well, especially with a Cybertruck being produced in late 2021 also. It just makes sense. And we also recently discussed the 381-acre land plot acquisition by Tesla also that is adjacent to the land at the Texas Gigafactory. So it's basically just additional land that they recently purchased. And I stated even in that recent news video, that was probably like around a week ago or so, but I stated in that it was likely, at least in my opinion, that they could be using that extra land for a battery cell production facility, which would make sense in my opinion, considering that you have the Cybertruck coming out of there, the Tesla Semi, the Model 3, the Model Y, a lot of the high volume production ones. And so we know that there is going to be this gradual change over time of Tesla utilizing their own vertically integrated batteries that are produced in-house. So I would not be surprised at all if this is true and Tesla actually constructs their own battery cell production facility at the Austin, Texas Gigafactory. It would honestly just make sense considering the size of that Gigafactory and having everything vertically integrated. And that's also pretty similar to what we've heard recently about the Berlin Gigafactory as well. So anyways, please make sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed the news video. I just wanted to share a few of these news pieces with you all. And of course, as always, feel free to check out Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my referral link, you'll get some free stocks. And especially with Webull right now, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600. And to get that, all you have to do is sign up with my referral link and deposit $100 into your account. And keep in mind, you can take that $100 right back out after you get your free stocks. So it's basically just nice passive income with minimal effort. Just want to let y'all know about that. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.